Family members of people who died from the CCP virus have been standing in long lines outside funeral homes in Wuhan to collect their relatives' ashes since March 23rd. One man said the pandemic is a massacre instigated by the communist regime. Mr. Ding's mother passed away after falling ill with the CCP virus. Ding told the Epoch Times that it's plain murder, and the regime's tactics to shirk responsibility for this national disaster is unacceptable.
What is the situation with regard to funerals now?
We were notified that we should prepare for the funeral. Simply put, we were forced to do it now and with a limited number of attendees and limited time to prepare. They said they would go over the process with us, but in fact, it's about surveillance. They're offering a promotional deal wherein all burials, whether someone died of natural causes or the epidemic, would be handled collectively by local authorities. But the limited number of attendees means that many relatives won't be able to attend the service. There are 8 siblings in my mother's family. They are forcing us to bury her before the city's lockdown is lifted. None of her siblings would be able to make it to her funeral.
When did this start?
Since March 23rd.
Who is forcing you to do it in a hurry? Your community staff?
The community office sent out the notice and said that everything will be arranged through them. The funeral home is not open to the public. So many people have died. You should have seen the online posts. 500 urns have been released every day at one funeral home. There are 8 funeral homes in Wuhan. Their workloads should be similar. In the online posts, I noticed that there are many plainclothes police present. They stop you from filming. They won't let you take out your cell phone. I saw this on the web. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe I'll do it before the tomb sweeping day. I was in a very heavy mood yesterday. There was a lot of talk on the web about the funerals by people who also lost family members and friends. We shared the same sorrow. I am a direct victim. I was in tears as I was reading the posts. In her final moments, I kept telling my mom, "Don't worry, I'm your son. You gave me my life, and I'm willing to give my life for you." She was very afraid, fearing that I would get infected too. She was very lucid till the end. I carried my mom to the hospital. During the final days, I cried, hoping she'd come back, but she's gone. It's hard to cope with this much pain. These deaths were wrong. I know the situation inside the hospitals. My sister and I were in the hospital for many hours. There was no sanitizer, no masks. Someone else gave us masks. There was no place to buy masks. I carried my mom to the hospital, but I was not infected. What I mostly did was to wash my hands frequently. My sister, my child, and myself were not infected. My friends said that they believe we were protected by my mom from the other side.
What's the purpose of the surveillance?
I could think of 2 reasons. One is to control public opinion, and the other is to cover up the lies. It takes tens of thousands of lies to conceal one big lie. It's hard to imagine what they are thinking. How can you cover up such a big lie? During this pandemic, the government has done nothing to comfort the families of the deceased, not even some simple explanation. They simply force us to bury my mother quietly. They limit attendees to 5 people, no ceremony, no hymns. The entire process has to be conducted quietly. If the officials had told us the truth when Dr. Li Wenliang spoke about the virus, we would not have had to pay such a high price. Tens of thousands of lives. If 20 days before the outbreak, we had been alerted to wear masks, tens of thousands of lives could have been saved.
What does it say on the death certificate? Coronavirus pneumonia?
Pneumonia, viral infection, it wasn't specified as coronavirus. I wanted to ask the hospital why it wasn't specified as a coronavirus infection. Was it a personal error or some other reason? As doctors, they should take this issue seriously and handle it scientifically. They have violated our rights. We are victims. I believe this is actually a massacre. The killer is still at large. How can I tolerate this? The officials at the Health Ministry, the Wuhan City, and the Public Security Bureau all need to account for this massacre. 30,000 to 40,000 families were affected. Some households were entirely wiped out. These are all wrongful deaths, aren't they? But no one came out to take responsibility. This has brought a great depression to the world economy. These officials will go down in history as villains. If we don't hold them accountable for this massacre, history will repeat itself. They have been extremely irresponsible to all of mankind. Suffice it to say, they should be tried in the International Hague Tribunal.